So wherever you left click, it throws a cursor, and then if I left click center that peak and drag to the right, it'll open up that peak, right? If I left click on here, it opens up this peak, for instance, right? If I have this all the way shrunk down, if I go auto vertical scale, it'll scale to the highest peak, or it'll go down, up, shrink, separate, the old way of doing it, right? And then you have this feature next to this, which is Robo Stage, and that'll be our communication eventually. Right now, that's not active. Okay? So realistically, that's everything in the EDS flow chart, as well as the EDS window. Let's go back here. Let's fire him back up again. Back to jump turn. Back to image. And over here is. Why do you close the software and I mean, I haven't run the new bundle like for a long time, so I don't know if the new bundle's got some bugs because we updated your software bundle.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has a bug or not. We're gonna have to keep our eyes on that. All right. So regardless, so we acquired a spectra. Great. The next thing in our software is like working with digital images. So if I click on this window, and if I go acquire an image, right, this is gonna take control of the microscope, and it's gonna start dropping down that exact image that I saw here. Right, so my image then gets transferred, and then this image, the most important thing about this image is this magnification readout, right? See that? The microscope was at 5000x, so I blew it. I acquired it, it thinks it's at 1600, this micro marker is not right. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I made a mistake there.
Yep.
So I needed to put the right magnification value in there, so let's wait for the image to finish. Image is done. So I'm going to come back up here again, I'm going to change this mag to 5078. Right? 5078. I'm going to come back in through here. I'm going to reacquire the image. So now that just scaled correctly. So that's very important. That micro marker is very important. So now we have this image. And what can we do with this image? Well, we could save this as a JPEG. We don't need to save it here anymore. That's the same image.
Yeah.
Right? So you could, all your data could get exported out of the IXRF system. So now, as we have this image, right, we have all this area in this image that we're looking at. The spectra that we were acquiring before, the spectra that we were looking at before, just to let you know, was overall of everything, right? Well, this image right now, if I go here, I could go image annotations, I'm just flow charting it right now. I come in here, I could measure something if I want to, right? I could come in here, I could like, draw angles or whatever I want to do with the software, because the software got a bunch of cool stuff like that, right? I could come in here, I could annotate, I could draw a box and blah, blah, blah as well, and put my annotation sample 25 or whatever I want to do. I could point to something, yeah, that blobs an area of interest. Whatever you want to do, I can annotate, right? The next thing in the flow chart is something called image morphology. And this is a quick and dirty system here. Like I could just move this over. And basically I left click my mouse, I drag to the right, and I color that peak, and I drag the other way as well. And if I go apply, everything it sees in white is going to think it's a particle. All right? This is all up together, so it's hard for it to distinguish, but I can distinguish a couple of these guys out here. So what I could do is I could erode, just to get rid of any little nonsense, dilate back again. And then I could pick a criteria, go setup. I like to measure the area in the perimeter. Say okay, and hit okay there, and then come down and go measure. So it goes through and it'll measure all these points, every one of these little points. We'll get to that one too, point 116 and so on. So it measured all those points, right? Super fast as far as microns go. And then at this point in time, I'm just going to skip for 1 second. I'm going to go multi-point acquire, and I'm going to go add labeled. I added all those points, and I'm going to hit acquire and do EDS on all those points as well. So not only do I get the sizing of it, and I can do EDS on it, but this is the rough and crude particle analysis. Eventually, when you guys start moving with the software, I'll come in here and I'll do a full training on how to do particle size analysis.
What's the area for the EDS to apply? It's like, what's the, when you go to a point, what's the area that applies from? Is it like a circle or?
It's acquiring this whole area that it highlighted here.
But is it a fixed, what area is it acquiring on? Is it like the whole?
The whole entire this whole little white area is what
okay.
it will do.
So the white area is bigger, it's going to acquire more?
Everything that's in that white area, it's going to look at.
So it's going to scan through it.
That's going to scan through that whole area.
Got it.
Right, so let me just get rid of this, and let me just go undo, undo, undo. It gets back to the image, right? So that was morphology, and the reason I'm just talking about it because it's part of the flow chart. I'm just getting through the flow chart. I'm going to show you other ways of doing that, but for right now, the next thing is image segmentation, and sometimes in here, like this area is different, right? So different shading. So if I click on